Wrong.
Yes.
I believe this is a family violence case.
Yes.
Family violence is not here. I'll stand in for them.
All right, thank you.
Give me a little bit of information about this case design,
Yes.
not brief.
All right. I'll walk you through it, State. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 007969 State versus Daniel Chapa. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
defense?
Catherine Valenzuela.
And are you Mr. Chapa? All right, you're gonna need to speak up so that I can hear. You're listed on the docket as Chapa and Maestas.
That's
Yes, so is that your,
it was my last name till I changed it to my father's name.
okay. And was that
Chapa.
changed legally?
Chapa is-
Huh?
What, did you legally change it? Did you go to a court? All right. All right, counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you, Mr. Chopper, review the document titled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
That's right.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, state, it appears that you are proceeding on count one and waiving the repeater offender enhancement allegation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is, Your Honor. And just to be clear, there is only the count one in the indictment,
No, there are two counts.
and we waive count two.
All right, thank you. Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Did you understand you're charged with stalking as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he was.
Mr. Chapa, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one. Punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 0270, which is a misdemeanor. The state will take in consideration 2024 CR 007970 and night mag number 764573. Did you understand that to be the plea? Did you understand that to be your plea bargain agreement?
yes,
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counselor, there be any such motions?
There have been no such motions.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years and there be no contact with Elaine Rodriguez. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
yes, sir.
Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Should be contained in exhibit one and attachments, Your Honor.
My client and I have reviewed states one. We have no objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court gonna find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And the court will find you guilty. All right, so defense, why should I follow this agreement?
Your Honor, Mr. Chapa has been placed, he is currently on probation on the other case. He's been in, that happened a month ago. He has not been released, so he has not officially been on probation, but he is, the court granted that. In addition, Your Honor, Mr. Chapa has been in custody for 5 months. During this time period, he had been diagnosed prior with mental illness. He was not compliant with his medication at the time of this offense.
What mental illness?
Will you tell the court what your diagnosis was?
Bipolar, schizophrenia. Different diagnoses.
So it's bipolar schizophrenia. I don't know if you heard that, Your Honor. So now he has been on medication since being in custody. He's now compliant with his medication. I think he has a new framework on how he's thinking of things, and we believe that he would be successful on probation. In addition, on his misdemeanor probation that you granted, you placed him on GPS, only allowing him to work. We believe that he will demonstrate to the court that he can comply with that. We are going to be putting a motion in for waiver of fees for right now, since he's been in custody for 5 months and there's been no, he has not been able to work.
All right, so I understand he's bipolar and schizophrenic, according to him. But why does his bipolar and schizophrenia only result in him having issues with women? Why are there no charges? Not that I'm recommending, but why are there no charges against men? It appears that he only has issues with women. And I do see that this offense occurred prior to the offense that he's on probation for, I believe. Let me see. No, actually, what he's on probation for occurred after this incident.
There were a lot of cases and they were all, we've been trying to dig out. That's why we've done this piecemeal and not at one time to figure out what are the actual charges and when they have come forward from the office. But I do believe that Mr. Chapa is coming before the court and asking to be placed on probation and willing to abide by the conditions imposed by the, I mean, there are a lot of conditions on the misdemeanor, on the other probation, and we believe that these could run concurrent and he would be successful. And he does have family support now. A very active sister and others who have older daughters also who have indicated a willingness to help him
All
now
right.
that he's helping himself.
So, Ms. Abrams,
Yes, Judge.
the case that he's on probation for is a misdemeanor.
Yes, Judge.
That misdemeanor case occurred after this case. And he was, I'm sorry, before this case. And he was granted probation on that case. And my understanding from the plea previously, that family violence said that the complainant was aware and was in agreement with his previous plea, I believe.
Judge.
Yes.
All right. Court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. This is to run concurrent with 2024 CR 0270. Taking consideration 2024 CR 007970. Night mag number 764573. There's to be no contact with Elaine Rodriguez, and that's Elaine with an E. And when I say no contact, I know you haven't had contact with her since you were placed on probation in other case, but when I say no contact, that means no contact. That means no, I apologize. I've got my life together. I just want to send you flowers to say, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's to be no sorry or any of that. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you contact her at all, that's a violation of your probation and you're looking at 10 years in the prison. You understand?
Yes.
And it's probably best for you that you not enter into any relationships until you get yourself together. And when you enter into a relationship, make sure that that person is not meeting your publicist, they're meeting you. What do I mean by that? You tell them about all this stuff that you've done. And then if they still want to be with you, then great, they're on notice. But if you are dishonest and then they end up finding out about this, that's going to cause an issue for your relationship. You understand?
Your Honor,
Yes.
apologies for interrupting. Did I hear you say correctly that you assess Mr. Chapa's term of confinement at 10 years?
Yes.
If I'm looking at the plea bargain agreement correctly, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years.
No, 10 years and 6 years probation.
Yes, we
That
changed
was,
it.
that was the paperwork. said
Yes.
10 years.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I am looking at the wrong paperwork, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Edelman. There's no contact with Elaine Rodriguez. Proof of employment within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And standing in for the state is?
Raymond Saldana.
All right, and Mr. Saldana, did you have contact with the complainant?
We have.
And is she aware of this plea bargain agreement?
She will be.
Okay. All right, and she's in agreement?
She. That's.
No, she had been, I mean,
She
she
had
had been prior.
Okay.
Yes. I'm
All
sorry.
right, there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, anger management course, 150 hours community service restitution, referral to Center for Healthcare Services, MIC evaluation in custody, gang evaluation in custody, field visits, 1 time per month for 3 months. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
And Your Honor, so on this case, there is no, I'm not trying to impose conditions on him. There's no GPS on this case.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's why I was afraid.
Calls ending in 0270, we do have partial GPS for
Yes.
purposes only until further notice.
Well, the only thing is that case, his probation is only for a limited amount of time. I think his probation is for 2 years.
Correct.
All right, we can keep the GPS on for that. And then if there are some issues, we'll see about adding it to this case.
Like, so Judge, do you want the fees waiver or anything for that?
Yes, the fees can be waived on the GPS. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right. We can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you need anything, let probation know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court and address it with me. The other thing, make sure that you follow the conditions that I've set for you to the letter. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.